Welcome to Brussels, welcome to Molenbeek, and welcome to its Migration Museum, MMM. Hello, I'm Annabelle, and here in the Migration Museum I have my showcase. Visitors get to know some objects and photographs that are dear to me. And here's my life story in Dutch and in French, and the English-speaking visitors get it in English. About 60 Bruxellois with migration roots have their showcase and their story here. More than 300 Brussels residents with migration roots were interviewed. All forms of diversity are covered in terms of ethnic origin and gender, age, etc. This is a museum in progress, participative and interactive and bottom-up. Visitors who want can leave their story behind. This is what Vin did, a Vietnamese boat refugee from the late 70s. And so did Bea, whose mother was a child who had once traveled with a children's train from Hungary to Belgium during the Great Famine in the interwar period. And so did recently a Yazidi family. For visitors, there's the timeline in which they can find out exactly when people from their community first arrived in Brussels. It's also important that one can follow on touchscreen how Brussels as a whole and each neighborhood individually has changed over the years. Almost every month there's an exhibition on a specific theme in cooperation with or at the request of associations or an artist, on a theme that is easily accessible to the public, such as the refugees or Brussels immigrant entrepreneurship. Being anchored locally or in an association is very important to us. We are all passing through. And this is emotional. The current migrations, the many refugees who arrive in Brussels or elsewhere in Europe, the global in the local, Lampedusa and Lesbos, here in Molenbeek. From pain to hope, the process the refugees go through, a process that many migrants once went through, and for most of them, hope one day may become reality. In summer, the most diverse plants from a multitude of continents are blooming here. Art that occasionally appears in Migration Museum Migration structures the route that the visitor follows, and it conveys the message that migration is often a source of creativity. At the end, visitors can choose one or more films from the MMM Academy series, in which academics explain a theme or community from Brussels migration. There are workshops for school classes. There's a separate track for the visually impaired, the very elderly and the small children. People can situate themselves and their history on a world map. There's also a mobile museum and a museum at home. A visit to the Migration Museum is 2 hours of reflections on the lives of migrants, on the enormous diversity and common humanity, and a reflection on oneself and one's own life, participative and interactive. This is also how it is felt by the visitors.